Welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob, and today we are going to be continuing the narration and character voice acting for the First of 1,000 Autumns story. And yeah, you heard that correctly, we are going to be continuing today, not ending, after careful deliberation and considering my sanity's safety and the current heat wave, I came to the careful conclusion that it would be a way better thing to split up the finale into 2 parts than to be working on a 6-hour-long episode, potentially. I'm not even joking, it would have probably been a 6-hour episode. But yeah, part 4 is not the finale, but there will be enough already material in today's part, as you might be already able to tell from the length of the episode alone. But anyway, part 5, the final part for this, will not be too far away. As you're watching this, especially if you're watching this on the day it goes live, I probably already am working on it. I do have, or will have at this point when this goes live, all the little things recorded for it outside of some minor stuff, but yeah, it will be on the way, so you will not have to wait for it too long. So, hopefully, that's fine with everybody. Anyway, as always, to anybody who bumps into the voiceover through this very episode, full playlist is in the description of the video, together with all the Sui stories leading up to this one. And like I said in the previous episodes as well, I would recommend catching up with them if you have the time. And considering some elements from today's story, as a little tease, if you skipped some early stuff, you might want to go back and re-experience it. But anyway, you'll see what I mean by that when we get to those points in the story. But yeah, anyway, regardless of from where you're starting from, if you're going all the way from the back or if you're going to pick up from where you left off, enjoy and thank you very much. Alright, with that said, time for the recap as always. And as always, to anybody who wants to skip the recap, timestamp in the description of the video box, and or chapter select, or just the YouTube navigation bar. But outside of that, let's begin. So then, last time we began in the Sky Mirror Pavilion with all our protagonists there looking through documents and books. Liang Shun gets a surprise visit from Ning Thinck. Zuola and Moyi look for secrets about the Sui regulator, and Zuo asks about Moyi's past and why she joined the Shenkai Zhong. Chen and Chao Qian discuss the history of the Chen family, and we find out that the Chens were once a family of historians until everything fell apart around the time Chen's mother passed away in Lungmen. Hopping then over to Yumen, Zuo Shanliao is receiving orders from the Grand Commandant and the True Lung, allegedly, to march the city to the tomb of Sui. Over in Baizao at the Judicial Review Office, Jun is meeting with Chen Che, and they discuss law and justice. Full circle back then to the Sky Mirror Pavilion, Moyi reveals the existence of Bu Fan, the facility housing one of the first Originium, to everyone there. But before more can be said, they get a surprise visitor, and Baizao finally starts to split into multiple segments to get ready for the final confrontation with Sui. We then jump back into Wang's storyline. 20 years have passed in a flash. Jie's powers are growing and we see her mind wandering more and more. The white piece makes its move and starts to manipulate the people like Chun to doubt the proxies. That forces Wang to make his move, and he enters the tomb of Sui alone. In the tomb, Wang encounters the white piece once more. Sui begins to taunt him and seemingly has the upper hand in this battle. Jie, meanwhile, is deliberating of going to save Wang, but she needs one final push. Jie asks Chun about how long-lived beings like them process the death of a family member. Chun, who had her mind already manipulated by Sui, lies to Jie and encourages her to go. Before she leaves, Jie meets one more time with Jun and hands her the writing knife for safekeeping before she heads out. After that heartbreak, we swap back to the present in the Sky Mirror Pavilion. The surprise visitor from earlier was none other than the Sui Regulator Supervisor, and we learn it's none other than Chun. Moi and Chen come to the conclusion that Chun is working with the Grand Commandant and that their goal is more than likely to use the knife to rewrite history, make Wei Yenwu the emperor for a brief moment and use that to sacrifice him to Bu Fan instead of the true Lung, his brother. Chun gets agitated by them and a fight breaks out. During the fight, the token falls to the ground and then a small miracle happens. It seems that that little tiny token was a sliver of Jie's life force, and a transparent apparition of Jie appears, smiling at all of them, and opens the doors to her old workspace. Ghost Jie returns then to the small token, and Chun's whole demeanor and pride finally crumble. Zuola and Moi get entrusted with the delivery of the token then to the tomb, and Jun hands the writing knife to Chen. On their way, Zuo and Mo encounter Ya in their path, and Chen comes face to face with Wei Yenwu. And that is pretty much where we left off last time. So then, today we are gonna be covering the stage number 9 and stage number 10. And yes, stage number 10 is our titular boss stage, while there is one more stage after this one. But we'll discuss that one when we get to the ending today. As a little teaser of sorts, we'll discuss that one when we get to that one today. But outside of that, I do not know yet right now, before I start editing this episode, if I'm gonna be putting any intermissions into today's episode. There is potential for some of them fitting in, but I do need to review the material I have to see that. So if you see some, well, I found space for some of them. If not, it's also fine, so it doesn't really matter then, I guess. But anyway, let's begin with stage number 9, titled Defiant Spirit. No looking back, no regrets, with every move. There's no end to them. Look out! Where did these monsters even come from? And just how many of them are there? They don't even seem to be decreasing. In fact, there's one of them now. I heard last night. The 3rd Battalion in the north lost half their numbers. What? Have you noticed? I don't know when it started, but these mysterious monsters are looking even more realistic than they did. And more aggressive to boot. Where's our Tamada backup? We're in dire straits if this keeps up.
Stand up. We must uphold our duty to guard the land.
Imperial Guard?
All units, form a line and prepare to meet the enemy. There is no retreat until we annihilate all evil inside the city.
Your Imperial Majesty.
The Grand Commandant's sickness seems to be gone. This gladdens me. What is it that has you looking for me at this hour?
Has your Imperial Majesty forgotten? Just the other day, you commanded me to be here for the morning court.
I fear you must have slept to delirium. Court is long over. You are late.
No, not yet. The day of the full moon is tomorrow. This old servant shall accompany your Majesty and await your order.
I find myself uncertain why the Grand Commandant wants this done in haste.
I know not what your Majesty awaits, and also what your Majesty has planned for the day.
That is none of your business.
Your Majesty's silence only keeps the servant guessing. Would your Imperial Majesty truly risk your sacred person to activate Bufan to settle the crisis within the tomb of Sui? I know not whose slander your Majesty has heard to resort to such an ill-advised course.
With no counsel offered, am I not capable of making my own decision?
40 years ago, when your Majesty ascended the throne, it was the Grand Tutor and I who went with you to survey Bufan. I still remember following our visit to that remote room. 3 whole days came and went without a single court session. To this day I remain unaware of your Majesty's thoughts at the time.
I remember then as well. But now I no longer fear the Grand Commandant deriding me, so perhaps I shall share. I was only thinking, in Yan's 1,000-year history with this object, not even once has there been a single true Lung who used it. If Great Yan were forced to use Bufan while I set the throne, would I not become the weakest ruler in our history?
If you would grant me a presumptuous question, if your Imperial Majesty were to sacrifice yourself for the nation, how would it be run subsequently?
Is there a cause for worry? Is my replacement not already in Baizao as we speak?
The Mandarins would be unsatisfied if the despot Imperial heir Yenwu were to take the throne, and the country would descend into chaos. And what will happen then?
The fault will lie on the Mandarin's shoulders.
I only wish for your Majesty to abandon this thought.
Ridiculous. You know well I am no match for the late Emperor, whom you so admired. Why not accept and anticipate my brother's imminent ascension to the throne, where he will be able to realize your ambitions? Why trouble yourself to persuade me?
Your Majesty!
The old man suddenly tenses up, his trembling voice nearly hoarse. The man on the throne seems to have forgotten when he last saw the old man this agitated.
For the past 40 years, I have witnessed your Majesty toil tirelessly to grow our country. Not even once did you slacken from your imperial duties. In those years, Great Yan has enjoyed stability. Our population swelled, and the treasury remains full. Has there been an era in our history, even more prosperous than this one, or an emperor more capable and benevolent than the one we have now? And yet, your Majesty, do you intend to idly watch as our nation's golden age vanishes into night during this turbulent time?
An urgent message from the Sui regulator. A strong energy wave has been reported from the depths of the tomb of Sui. Far stronger than the wave 120 years ago.
And how fare the troops and civilians?
Under control at the moment. Baizao's peripheral blocks moved away before the energy blast, and non-mobile settlements nearby have also been largely evacuated. The damage is minor. Mount Mang has suffered more damage, but the Tianxia are at their posts, and the Garden of Groutesqueries is still suppressing Sui. There are geists running amok in the city, and the Imperial Guards are cooperating with the patrol battalion to establish a defensive line. They will give it their all.
I see. You may go. From behind the curtain, the true Lung rises from his throne and ascends the steps until he is next to the older man. It's about time. You may withdraw, Grand Commandant. The battlefronts of Baizao and Human await your commands.
Your Imperial Majesty. For the sake of Yun, is your Majesty truly unaware why I so strongly advocate for war? Do you still remember why the court came up with the 28 policies? Victoria, Lithanian, Kazdal. This whole great land is plagued by unrest, Great Yun aside. We are now in terrible peril, and the nation cannot afford to be passive. We must proactively seek change. Has your Majesty not learned from what happened in Ursus? The Chamber of Heaven's Designs has yet to figure out what sort of power managed to wipe out that entire Reginium Wayne. If the Crystal Age truly ends with the depletion of every Prime Wayne, the Great Yun must take the responsibility and prepare to lead all of Terra. Attack Ursus in the north, repel Victoria in the west, pacify Mitsukuya and Kusarigawa in the east, and settle Rim Billiton to the south. Furthermore, we must keep a close eye on Columbia's developments, as well as possible naval incursions from Aeger's own sea. And before all of that, while Great Yun stands at the height of its power, we must see the chance in this fight against the bestial Sui to sweep away decades of weakness hiding under peace and prosperity. Only then will we manage to stand tall in this chaotic realm, undeterred for the next millennium.
The true Lung falls silent at the old man's speech, not only to consider all that was said, but also to calm his own mind. No one knows how much time has passed before he finally speaks. You dedicated your life to wars for the country, and your military merit is without equal, but this has also left you with injuries and ailments. Have I ever doubted your undying loyalty to the country? But earlier you spoke of what befell Ursus, and that makes me wonder. Do you remember what happened to Gaul?
Your Imperial Majesty?
Your words were incisive. Yes, Great Yun should seek change, and must change. But the way I see it, compared to the lives we may lose to this war with the bestial Sui, what we need even less is a true Lung past his prime, and this power accessible only to the true Lung for the past 1,000 years. If we talk of Great Yun's future, then I must say, my outlook is indeed brighter than yours. Grand Commandant, has Great Yun these past 40 years lacked for loyal and righteous men? The Grand Preceptor, Yu Cheng, Gu Xuan, the Grand Tutor, and yourself. My officials are loyal, my soldiers are fearless, my people are principled. Where is this weakness hiding under peace and prosperity you speak of? As for the future you mentioned, you can take a look in my stead.
Your Majesty, you still insist?
That hunt of my ancestors' days, the remnants of the bestial Sui plaguing Yun for 1,000 years, should end with me. If we must inevitably spill some blood, then the true Lung should be the first one to spill it. After a short silence, the true Lung walks to the doors. It has been a long time since he has stepped out of the place. Only an old man remains in the vast palace.
If I cannot dissuade your Majesty, then I can only strive to serve my duty. Send word to Human. It's time to make a move.
After the brief order, he disconnects the terminal and slowly walks forward. He passes through the curtain, finally stopping before the throne, closing his eyes and staying in his spot, as if waiting for something, until a cough he can no longer suppress bursts from his throat. The cough is so violent he bends over and has to grab onto the throne for support. July 7th, clear. On her birthday, she was excited to show Wei Yenwu the unsheathing, but couldn't find a trace of him anywhere. After 3 days, she waited no longer. 13th of May, cloudy. She cut down a 30-year-old tree in the courtyard with tear render, smashing the roof in. Wei Yenwu did not appear and merely sent someone to plant a new tree. She never hoped for Wei Yenwu's acknowledgement again. 1st of January, heavy rain. On a New Year's visit in the downpour, she saw an injustice on her way to the slums, struck out in anger, and took 15 on her own. In this moment of mortality, she fled into the night by her hilted sword, harming 7, repulsing 8. When she landed atop, Wei Yenwu made a rare appearance, saw the sword marks, and gave her a single look before leaving. She's forgotten why she struck out at the time, but will never forget the disappointment in that look. 25th of December, clear. Acted in bravery while heading home from the Royal Guard Academy, totally fearless, slashing grand and bold, sparring as called for. She was high on spirit, believed she could hew away all injustice in the land. 30th of July, cloudy. At the cost of 5 days unconscious, let out shadowless, ultimately cutting down a major fugitive. Lungmen's Chen Hu-shi shining in prominence. After waking up, Shi Xiao was placed by her bedside, and Wei Yenwu had once come to visit her. 13th of August, overcast. Midway pursuing an infected criminal, was eager to strike out with Shi Xiao. Shi Xiao did not budge one hair. Subsequently, in this moment of mortality, inspiration struck. Shi Xiao was unsheathed and cut half a subterranean garage down. She sought Wei Yenwu to find out why Shi Xiao had and hadn't, but Wei Yenwu did not meet her. 30th of September, clear. Shi Xiao was unsheathed a second time, cut open a treasury door, and saved the hostages within. She began to understand. Shi Xiao was a sword of will. She thought she had always done more than enough, but had in actuality done too little. She had to be faster and mightier. 7th of July, cloudy. On her birthday, over a decade coming, Wei Yenwu asked for the first time to see her swordplay. She condensed all she'd learned and made an incomplete cloud splitter her final examination's answer. Wei Yenwu did not comment. 1st of January, clear. Left Lungmen together with Rhodes Island. From here on forth, Shi Xiao will rarely be unsheathed. One day before the full moon, hour of hype. You came in the end. So you were here. You don't seem surprised at all to see me though. Chen Hu-shi is somewhat caught off guard by her target simply showing up before her. Still the overbearing posture, still the unfathomable look, as if they're not standing in Baizao's forbidden city, but in the backyard of his official residence in Lungmen. The buildings behind him seamlessly blend into his dark coat, as if those places are merely an excessively ornate cloak over his shoulders. So, at least you weren't kidnapped. I still don't know who on this land could manage that. Everything I've done has been of my own volition. I'll never stop hating that attitude of yours. Why are you here? Is this a backup plan the Grand Tutor kept telling you to make? His words should not be followed entirely. The situation should never have developed as he suggested in the first place. I have another plan in mind. Either way, you're safe. So what comes next won't be much of a problem. And what are you preparing to do? Ensure you're safe, get you out of Baizao, then... Jen casually waves the writing knife in her right hand, its simple form leaving a light yellow scroll-like afterimage in the air. Correct some mistakes made by you and your brother. I see. So the artifact is with you. I'm not too surprised. Huh. And who were you supposing would deliver this writing knife to you? That's no longer important. Since you have it, then you ought to know how to use it. And everything else about it. I was pretty surprised. Every secret I've learned about you since coming to the city has opened my eyes. You know, I must admire your ability to hide so many secrets. If you truly wish to rectify the mistake I made, then you should follow me. Follow you? Where? Beneath the Forbidden City, to the first Originium. The writing knife you hold will be of use, and will solve Great Yan's crisis. All will be made right. Of course, I prefer you hand the knife to me instead. It'll be quicker, and you'll have less trouble to contend with. But you won't, trust me. I'm sure you want to see it all yourself before you'll give up. I don't really mind, though. Haven't had enough of playing the tragic hero? You're just conveniently skipping over the part where you'd actually lose your life? We stand before a great crisis, and this is a small cost Yan can afford. There are no victims in this case. Your work ends here, Superintendent Chen. Don't tell me you forgot. I resigned right in front of you 5 years ago. Though the man standing before me now isn't even fit to be called Chief Wei. You're telling me to watch you throw your life away. That's not even the part of your words that's pissing me off the most. Your sacrifice isn't going to move anyone's heart but your own. And right now, you don't even have the right to end your life just like that.
She, this is no petty squabble. This matter concerns the fate of Yan and his people.
Of course I know that. But get over your own ego. The country's fate doesn't fall on your shoulders alone. There are definitely other things you should be doing, besides glorifying your own suicide. Very well. You don't have to come with me. Give me the writing knife and go back to Lungmen. It's too bad I got 2 blades here, but I can't lend you either of them. We don't have any more time to lose. And you still want it your way, Superintendent Chen? I'm not the one insisting on having it my way. Must you force my hand?
Fine, show me. Let me see how much your swordplay has grown in the last 5 years.
That's more like it. Chen Yushi grips the hilt of her sword. Since she first took up the Shi Shao, she knew this moment would one day come. She unsheathes her blade, pointing it at the Baizao autumn breeze, blowing between her and Wei Yenwu. A sword shadows trace. Cast off as cast.
This isn't your responsibility. Chen Huiqi, stop this foolishness!
Foolishness? What's foolish?
To build a place just good enough to judge everyone, no matter who they are, where they are from. Is that your ideal, Huiqi?
I know, no matter how nicely you spin it, there's history on this land, far beyond my reach. There's irreparable differences, deep-seated grudges. But through all the discord, we can still find justice. The path ahead lies clear. So, let's go.
Do you intend to use Heaven's Eye? Scared? Skillful, but not yet the peak of perfection. The Grandmaster once said of your swordplay. Your skill has improved much in 5 years, and you've surpassed my expectations in comprehending Xi Xiao's techniques. But you're still one step away from Heaven's Eye. The Eye of Heaven sees all and nothing. Only when the clouds are parted is Heaven's wrathful eye revealed. Let your heart guide the sword, never looking back. Turn around, and the sword loses its sharpness, harming the user. I was only reminding you of its form, but I see you remembered it all. But you should be well aware a fog remains in your heart, so the technique is beyond your ability. Drop your sword. I especially don't want to go that far with you. Will you use it though, if I don't give you the riding knife? Just like you did 35 years ago? Don't force my hand, Yushi. When you walked out of the Forbidden City 40 years ago, when you decided whether Tal and her father would live or die, did you do it with the technique's ideals? Never looking back?
Yushi!
If that's what Xi Xiao's final technique demands, then I shall never be able to unleash it. Trial, justice, good and evil, right and wrong. They aren't weights you can easily tell which is better when placed on two sides of a scale. Don't judge a life until its end was never a positive term to use. The same goes for people, and even more so. They shouldn't be used and then unceremoniously abandoned. Workers in the Victorian siege, warriors of the Ursus Tundra, and even the casino bosses in Docilis, all of them understand that. So you are right. I won't use Heaven's Eye. I can't learn it. It's not my blade work.
What are you getting at?
More than keeping a resolute will to abandon everything, I'd rather pick the path of knowing what I find impossible.
Yushi, you still don't understand.
You're right. I don't. I don't actually understand what happened that night. Whether your father actually died by Shishao, or something more sinister. I don't understand what you were thinking. I do know Edward and Tal both bore the curse of their bloodline, while I could only watch from the sidelines. I don't understand why Mother resented you, Father, and even me on her deathbed. I'm only clear on one thing, and Tal knows it too. Apologies from the dead are meaningless. If there are people you want to apologize to, then tell them you're sorry while you're still alive. Otherwise, you're just a coward consumed by guilt to the brim, putting on a heartless and stoic act for a ridiculous facade. I won't let you keep making the same mistakes.
There is no real merit in winning a verbal fight. If you truly have a strike that surpasses Heaven's Eye, you shall indeed become a legendary Yanese swordswoman. Show me. Prove with my blood that you are right.
I'll show you.
Chen silently switches Shishao to her left hand and wields the writing knife with her right.
I'll prove that if the dilemma itself is fundamentally wrong, you'll never get the right answer, no matter which side you take. I'll prove that before we reach an inevitable dead end, we can take a step back and consider other options. A choice that requires no sacrifice or abandonment, but allows all things to thrive.
You plan to use Shishao's swordplay with the writing knife?
You said the techniques of Shishao were all about one state of mind, so it doesn't really matter which sword you use. Right? Uncle. I still remember your last words to me when I left Lungmen.
Wei Yenwu's fingers stretch and bend before finally settling into a sharp form. A gale swirls around them, blowing at his simple robes. Yushi, I'll respect your determination. I won't hold back. Heaven's Eye, wrathful eye revealed, never looking back. Even without a physical blade, his fierce form remains like merciless sunlight, never to return once it has shone. Remorse does not linger on his fingers nor in his sword's aura, yet it pervades the air like mountains of withered leaves in late autumn. Hesitation, regret, self-blame. She knows why the old man before her wields his blade. His pent-up emotions do not have to be expressed in speech for her to emphasize with. Then, like a sigh, she thrusts the writing knife out. After the truth comes to light, a judge's long exclamation often feels heavier than the verdict itself. After the sigh, the sharp wind rolling around him dissipates like a fading dream, leaving nothing but a solitary palace, a desolate square, and the two standing in silence before it. So,
So, this is the swordplay you meant. After I came to Baizao, I heard some stories about my mother. When you left the city, she followed you to Lungmen. I never understood, but now, what other reason was there? She wanted to convince her brothers, her own 2 siblings, to make up. And now I think she was probably even more naive than I am. You met someone from the House of Chen. I owe your parents and them an apology. There are some things that should be resolved with blood, but this matter, this family matter that has entangled your life and my decades, doesn't have to be one of them. You felt regret in the end. You dared only hold the form of Heaven's Eye, but not its spirit. You know what comes after remorse. The Heaven's Eye you wielded decades ago was before regret reached your heart. You saw all and nothing, never looking back. And when you finally felt it, it gnawed at your heart non-stop. You win. Of course, you're right. But this way, you stake everything on a war that cannot be controlled. Now countless Yanese soldiers and civilians have their lives on the line, not just you and I. Those with power and privilege love hiding their selfishness with big numbers and scary consequences. But obviously, there are plenty of other choices besides your death. There are many who stand with us, proxies who have joined forces with Yan, your own brother, and even, if there really is no other choice to take up the responsibility, there's me. Let's finish the conversation from earlier. The path before you is long and hard, but I know you will master it. I thought for a long time about what you meant by that will. When I found the answer, I was loath to believe the conclusion it led to. But now, seeing you in such a pathetic state, I can only believe it. From that moment on, when you placed your unfulfilled hopes on my shoulders, you were already old. You're old. You can't even harden your heart into stone as you did in your prime. You want to make amends, pay your debts, so you chose to die. Death won't let you make up for all you've done. Death won't preserve your last shred of dignity. Death will only leave a final knot in your relationship that can never be untangled. So don't do it. Don't do what Tal did. Is she... If you want to ask me, is she doing well? Then I'll tell you. No, not at all. But you should rejoice in the fact that I'm willing to talk about her with anybody. With you. What's that? The horn signaling the attack. It's not from Baizao, but from outside. From human. Humans about to attack the Tomb of Sui? The Grand Commandant has issued a command. But whether or not the troops move is up to Zuo Shenliao. He cannot hold on forever, though. Humans' troops are not his personal army. I should go. To do what? Our family matters have to be resolved. Those incarnations of the Faranmut, the same goes for them too. They'll try their best, and I'm willing to trust them. And that Grand Commandant... I can kind of guess what's on his mind. He's not selfish, but he thinks his judgments are logical and realistic. Disasters caused by people like him are usually the worst ones. Be it for Lungmen, or what's left of the House of Chen, I should try and win whatever peace is possible for Yan. I know you will. Right. Before I go, and if you want, help me think up a name for the move I pulled off. A name like Heaven's Eye that would get a young me all excited. Heaven's Plate. Heaven's Plate. Doesn't that sound a little old-timey? Surely you don't have to remind me of my age every 5 minutes. Even so, there are some things that I must do myself. Such as? This time, I will do something that won't leave me with regrets. Zula recognizes the person before him, the one steeped in malice. The mastermind who turned human upside down, and an actual Faramut. Zula grips his blade and swallows hard. But the other party does not seem to pay him any mind, instead looking towards Moi. And where is the thing you promised me? I didn't find it. Then there is no meaning in leaving you alive. With no hesitation, a long, narrow blade manifests in Ya's hand, dazzling the other two with its silver glint. But wait! Kill me, and you'll never know where Bufan is. What? Moi, what exactly? Faced with Zula's angry stare, Moi can only turn her head away. Let me ask you first. What are you planning to do with Bufan once you have it? Just kill Sui, or do you want the whole city or even all Yan to also die alongside your grudge? That is of no concern to you. I only promise to help you exact revenge against the bestial Sui, but before I give it to you, I need you to promise me something. Your rage can only be directed at Sui, and once you're done with your vengeance, you'll leave Yan. Absurd. Why should I promise you anything? No particular reason, but I'm not giving it to you unless you agree. You've exhausted my patience with your life. Zula steps in almost instinctively and takes the blow. He realizes once more just how much power a Faramut holds. All he feels is his insides churning as blood spurts from his mouth. Zola! The Sui regulator will not allow you to harm anyone, even if she is a Shanghai Zhang. Ridiculous. It is this very human game that I hate. A light flick of her longsword, and the candle holder's own blade flies from his hand, as his throat meets the edge of her blade. The whereabouts of Bufan, or his life. No way. You can't. Don't hurt him. I'll tell you. The Shanghai Zhang takes out an elaborate box from her pocket and opens it to reveal an ancient map within. That's from the Skymere Pavilion. When did you... Sorry. Lord Zuo, I admit to the crime of deceiving you over and over again. Dare I ask you to trust me, and if a chance comes, to let me be the good one and make amends? You mustn't! Ignoring the candleholder's futile attempt, Moi hands the map over to Ya, the latter merely sweeping a glance at it before the parchment turns into ashes. Enough! I did what you wanted. You should leave. You tricked me once, and still hope for me to trust you? You shall come with me until I find Bufan. Ya raises her longsword, but does not point it at the two, instead slicing a rift into the air. Don't just stand there! Run! Moi is swallowed by the rift, leaving only withered autumn leaves all around Zula. What did you do? Stop! Where are you going? I think it beneath me to make another move on someone I have no business with. If you cherish your life, then leave. Zula silently picks up his blade from the floor and steps forward into a fighting stance. Countless times he has done this, against formidable foes he thought he could never defeat. So you have a death wish. As if merely following the proxy's murderous intent, a chilling autumn breeze blows by, and sharp withered leaves cut tiny wounds on Zuola. But right after, he sees something he can hardly believe. The dead leaves turn into flowers and green, and the piercing autumn wind is gradually replaced by a gentle spring breeze. Who dares? Why do we always run into each other when a fight's about to start? This encounter is no different from the one 1,000 years ago. Our former foes are gone, as are our dear friends. To draw your blade for vengeance now. How is it not a futile grasp at the past? You two? The proxy is loath to address her kin by the names humans gave them, yet she realizes, how else are they to call one another? Yan detests these names. Ho. J. So you were both alive all along? As you can see, we are no illusions or walking corpses. So yes. But this is no place for chit-chat. Can your hidden realm welcome us as guests? I thought it and I were the last of our kind on this land. How have you survived these last 1,000 years? And why have you come here today? Do you want to stop me as well? We don't intend to make things difficult for you. But are you aware just how much trouble you've added to our plates with your awakening and return to Yun? Since that day, I've been followed by hundreds of eyes, even when I'm just casually angling for some silverfin on the Dusk River. Staring at your decrepit shell. Those ants sure are experts at wasting time. Ruined mounds and streams, bodies weak and sick. That's all we are now, and you're no exception. Weak and sick. Yet enough strength to leave another wound on it that will never heal. Is that the only thing you've gained from your long journey? After this millennium-long journey, all that remains in your head is wanting to settle the score between you two? Seriously, your smarts are not up to par. Anger, humiliation, discontent, confusion. You came back on account of these, and you used them as excuses to lever your blade against your own kind. Humanity gave a name to this obsession born of anger. They call it vengeance. You proudly claim to be a Ferenbut and look upon human emotions with contempt. Yet you've changed. When did you become so obsessed with the boards and games humans play? And when did you primordial beings pick up the rhetoric used by those crass pests? Fooling humans, hunting our own kind. When have we ever suffered such humiliation? When have we suffered such a betrayal? Vengeance, boards, games. This is a war between it and me that has yet to end. Lands shorn of life, bound, split asunder, rivers choked with crimson. The war at the dawn of time is not worth my remembrance. Eons ago, before you granted these insects your cunning, they had long embarked on the wrong path. Now look at you, taking on a form similar to theirs. Comical, ugly, broken, unbearable. You make me laugh. And you, Ho, the ancient bestial Ho, the nature of antiquity, you who once floated between heaven and earth, have too learned how to live like an ant.
One can live as they wish in this realm. Rafting, swimming, fowl watching, fin catching. You're not me, so how would you understand the joy I derive from this land?
You find joy in dragging your tail through the mud?
Seasons change, life and death come and go, joy is but a speck, and sorrow the same. To me, these joys and sorrows are but floating weeds on the dusk river. Where the winds blow, I go. If one day a fin beast devours me whole, I shall drift freely for 10,000 miles with the current. If a foul beast snatches me, I shall be lifted up into the highest heavens. Will you raise your weapon against the wind? A fin? A foul beast? To be used or cast aside is of the times. To act or to hide is of my own will. That is what you and I have come here to tell you. Continue your reckless act, and you shall only meet your end. If Ermut's end, with your shall no more, is only ash and dust. Simply put, we pity you, our kin.
Pity for your kin? The two of you only leave me with shame. Kin, you say? The two of you, as primordial manifestations of nature and rules, are groveling at my feet to surrender the ages? Puny, weak, filthy, low, what grants you two rotting corpses the right to call yourselves my kin? I'll lose my body and end as only ash and dust. The destruction in your eyes is to me simply a return. A return to the sleepless chaos, the indistinguishable dawn. So what if I'm reduced to nothing? So what if I am consigned to eternal nothingness? This realm is but a coffin with no borders in sight. 1,000 years I have waited, and the only thing missing is a dark red pattern. Soaked, painted, lined, and carved. A breathtaking pattern made from its flesh and cries.
You take this realm as a coffin. Is it then not a waste? Preserving this vast realm when only death awaits you? I dwell within a leaf, but see an entire realm within. All things arise from the mind, and it should stay free and unfettered. Is it this realm that confines you?
The land trembles from its master's rage. The chill of the cold, Jade Mountains grows even sharper from her raging fury. But the old man barely taps his long staff on the water's surface, and a plum blossom blooms on the river that has never melted. So you wish to face me in my own realm?
Arrows knocked.
Yes, use your arrow, your staff, your pest-like forms to smash all that you see as coffins. Then come with me in your sly disciple's stead and take a good look for yourselves. Witness how this 1,000-year-old feud shall finally end. Ya's figure vanishes into thin air, leaving only Ju and Ho on the frozen river.
Ju? I see stopping the war is no longer possible. Are we really going to destroy this realm she has preserved for so many years? Pity for your kin really struck a nerve with Ya, but isn't that why we've been trying to make her see the error of her ways? How can we drive the knife even deeper when she's already wallowing in self-abandonment? So, from now on,
Must we only watch from the sidelines as Wang's plot unfolds?
We guided at last once. We saved that kennel holder, and even stood in for that precious disciple of yours. We've done our part for Wang.
He probably knows we can't stop Ya, which is why he even let us involve ourselves in this troublesome affair in the first place. He really is like it, only he has a bit more...
What's done is done. Let's just rest on this river and partake in the scenery from a millennium ago. Time's running out for it as well.
Yeah. Wait, I'm back? And you're alive too. Where's Ya? I saw an old man and a person covered with machinery. They stopped Ya, then they all vanished. Someone covered in metal? Don't tell me. Damn it, I was so close. Why am I the only one who hasn't seen him? Forget it. Since he's already here, I'm sure I'll get another chance to meet him when this is all done with. Thanks for saving me earlier. Saving you? Without my convincing performance, she would have thought my actual intel was fake, right? Wouldn't that be a real shame? What? What were you planning, divulging the location of Bufan to that proxy? You keep asking me what mission the old Tianchi gave me, right? Man, you wouldn't believe me anyway. Maybe when you become that Sui regulator supervisor, whatchamacallit. What was that? From far away, a bugle horn sounds, sending Moi in a frantic search for its source. But to Zula, it could not be more familiar. That's Human's call to march. Human is preparing for an assault on the tomb of Sui. So soon? The bestial Sui hasn't woken up, right? The bestial Sui has yet to wake. The city is in chaos and the Sui regulator still hasn't fulfilled its duties. How could they possibly issue the order to attack the tomb right now? Something must have happened inside Human. I shoulda... Well then, get going! But we have to take that token to the tomb of Sui. After a moment of silence, Zula speaks with hesitation. Can I, trust you? Just shut up and leave it to me, since you saved my life earlier. Stay safe. The day of the full moon. Baizao outskirts, near the tomb of Sui. An old man stands alone amidst dry grass and withered poplars, silently staring at where the barrens end, in the direction of Baizao's urban core. It's been so cold this autumn. What are you doing out here all alone, on a day this cold?
Waiting for someone.
Oh, have you eaten? Here, I have a bag of buns with me. Fill your belly a little.
We can eat once everyone's here.
If we are gonna wait for more, then I better prepare a proper meal. Buns won't do. Do you think they'll come back?
What do you think?
Of course I think they will. I know we rarely come together. We always argue whenever we do meet. We don't share the same hobbies and have conflicting personalities. But it's times like these that I believe our hearts are all as one. Though, even if everyone comes back, can we even, I'll wait with you then. What a stage. Holy... Holy moly. Okay, let's take it in strides, shall we? So first off, yeah, the Grand Commandant, full-on confirmation on this stage. The Grand Commandant is the one who was essentially manipulating both military forces and a portion of the Sui regulator to essentially get the riding knife, so that what was already kind of deduced that he was trying to do with it is gonna happen, aka using Wei Yenwu as the scapegoat, essentially, as the sacrifice instead of the true Lung. And I mean, I get it. I get what he's doing there, as the scene was describing it there. Pretty much the guy has just immeasurable respect towards the true Lung and what he has achieved throughout his reign so far, and he just sees it as a big loss if the true Lung would just straight up sacrifice his own life for this endeavor, which he's apparently going now to do anyway. But yeah, the Grand Commander just has immense respect from the guy, and why should he care about Wei Yenwu, right? In that case, I mean, even Wei Yenwu kind of belittles himself, and also sells himself short for several reasons that led up to this point. So there's a lot of factors in this. But then also the probably biggest factor that pushed the Grand Commandant to go ahead with this extreme measure of his is probably his health, as we see from that last scene after, or rather that last moment, the moment the true Lung leaves, the guy literally almost seemingly croaks there right next to the throat. I mean, a person like that going through like a violent cough where he needs to forgo his manners and actually grab and hold himself upright with the throne of the true Lung of the Emperor, that is yeah, he's on his way out. He's definitely on his way out. The thing that we started on with the story with him being sick because of a cold, in quotes, where even the true Lung was making fun of the fact that he was bested by a simple cold. Yeah, it's not a simple cold. Whatever the guy has, he literally has only problem moments left. Like, Jesus, I don't know if he's gonna die during this story, or if they're gonna just leave it there with him, and maybe just on the fringes address that something is going on, or he goes to a hospital or whatever the hell by the end of the story. We'll see. No answer. I'll say this right now, no answer in today's part. We'll have to see how the story ends first to get any answers on what's gonna happen to him next. But yeah, outside of that, once again, Moi's and Zuola's interactions are so very fun to watch throughout this whole story. We've already seen how much Zuo has changed as a person throughout the story himself, to the point where the two of to the point where he's actually entrusting someone from a technically opposing faction with very sensitive missions, and that, yeah, he definitely has changed as a person. But I do enjoy really watching these two interact, and Moi poking fun at the guy. They're very fun. They're a very, very, very little fun pairing. Yeah, and also the Faramuts finally came into the picture, and we saw what they were supposed, I guess, to do, as in try to stop Ya, but as they say it themselves, they were already aware that they will probably not be capable of stopping Ya from whatever she is trying to do, or, well, exacting her vengeance. And well, she's also now on the on the way to the tomb itself, so that's gonna be very interesting to see what happens there, and if in any shape or form she is gonna contribute to that conflict that is happening at the tomb. But the biggest part of this scene is definitely the clash between Wei Yenwu and Chen. Holy cinema scene. Also, I want to point out one thing, or remind everybody of one thing. It's so very funny how of a parallel this scene is to the one scene back with Blaze in the very exact same spot where she had to, well, she didn't face a family member in Blaze's case, but both of these characters came to Baizao, to Yan, to clear up their pasts, to find out what the hell happened, stuff about their parents, and much, much more, and essentially make a step forward in life. A grand step forward. And I love how much of a parallel it is to have both like close-up shots of a determined look in their eyes on this. It's pretty much even in the same spot on the stairs, or after the stairs on the approach to the Imperial Palace. Like, holy shit. Parallels. The funniest part is probably that both of these characters don't really interact as well with each other, so it's even funnier how much of a parallel these two turned out to be in this very exact same spot. But yeah, the clash between these two, Wei Yenwu and Chen, definitely pure cinema. And I'm actually kind of one thing I am kind of slightly disappointed about with this stage is the fact that they did not. We had so many mini bosses. I mean, the white piece appearing is one thing, but we don't fight the white piece. The guy just appears on the stage. But Chun got a mini boss on the previous stage. I was so hoping they're gonna do Wei Yenwu the moment we entered the battle stage. That there's gonna be a Wei Yenwu on the battle stage, and we're gonna have to fight an apparition of him, or a version of him on the stage. It would have been so fun. They could have even done the whole thing where he does like Shi Xiao moves, but without a blade, because he did fight Shen at the end without a blade in hand, so it would have been very poetic. But oh well, we don't get a mini boss with Wei. That would have been. Still, it would have been so very fun to see. But yeah, the scene was very good. And also, it has been years. Like, for people who have been with this game, like I have been since pretty much the launch on Global, in my case. Seeing from even back then the very tense relationship between Wei Yenwu and Chen, and they're falling out back then all the way in Lungmen, and the journey that Chen went through, the little interactions here and there with Wei. Obviously, the two of them, in a sense, care about each other, of course. I mean, they're family at the end of the day. But the atmosphere between the two of them was always tense. And seeing them here finally clash, get their differences out of the way, actually have both a verbal and physical talk between each other. Very good. Very good. Also, I don't know if at any given point Chen actually had a genuine conversation with the guy all the way up until here. I personally, I do not think that Chen, since the death of her parents and Wei Yenwu taking her in, I do not believe at any given point she had a normal heart-to-heart conversation with this guy. Because the way it was portrayed here on this stage, she actually having a casual conversation with him, actually smiling at him and asking him to name her move, her new move. Like, my god. so much in that one scene between the two of them. Jesus Christ, that was a long time coming. Like, even again, for everybody who was with the game like I was since the beginning, or at least for a couple of years, it was legitimately for everybody a couple of years of watching these two dance around each other and not getting to have a talk, essentially. Like a father-daughter talk, essentially, or some shit like that. Finally getting their shit out of the way. This was a payoff. This was a massive payoff between these two. But anyway, outside of that, let's continue. Holy moly. So, boss battle stage. Stage 10. Capping the Sui. The rain fell upon the battlefield for 3 days. Heavens plaint as the board at last grows clear. The day of the full moon. The sand blots out the sun. Zola crouches within Human's shadow, looking out at the wind aegis, the sand sluices, the distinct silhouette of the cannons. The entire city slowly rumbles towards the tomb of Sui. Human really did receive marching orders. But why would His Majesty order an attack on Sui before it has awakened? After this moment of hesitation, Human is almost right on top of the crouching candle holder. Soon there will be no more room for him to move forward. There are only the city walls jutting up perpendicularly from the ground. You wish to leave via the sand sluices? Have you perfected your thinck yet? Not to mention, once you head out... never mind. You will see for yourself.
Do not think that your fall will excuse you from punishment. It will be one thing if you cause this trouble on your own, but you drag Qingping into it.
General, it was just because Zuola...
Do not make excuses for him. He should have thought of how to come back up before he jumped down. All that bravery, but all he knows is how to fight, 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 and how to make others nearly die of worry. Back to your place, and once your wounds have healed somewhat, come and receive your punishment.
The city walls are only 10-some meters away from Zuola. And so he takes a great leap forward. The Qinggong others praise him so much for is now the only thing he can rely on. Though the sand sluices have not started up, the wind aegis has been fully erected. Its smooth walls nearly impossible to find purchase on. A single slip would mean a horrible death. Halfway up, and there are still battlements he can use to support himself, but to go further will be as strapping thousands of caddies to himself. Faster! As he passes through the yellow sand, the young man sees the figures of soldiers manning the walls. Many of them seem to have already forgotten just how long they have stood atop those ramparts. However, with the sudden blast of a horn, they have now been tasked with spending the rest of their lives on this new hunt. Faster! The higher he climbs, the clearer his thinking becomes, the steadier he steps. Even so, the final stretch of the walls is no stroll down a garden path. Still 15 kilometers from the tomb. Can't see anything about Sui's movements from here. Still no news from the Sui regulator. Do you think higher-ups really give the order to open fire? No, I would never. Yes, understood. Hua! My apologies. Don't move. Help! There's a spy! This area is long evacuated. Shout all you like. How would you know? What are you up to? I am an Imperial envoy. I have come to investigate why Human is taking action without permission. An Imperial envoy? Didn't they already come by earlier? You think you can pretend to be one of them while sneaking around? Already came by earlier? Of course, I'm an envoy of the court. Don't you recognize these clothes? Be shit you are! Those are nothing like the clothes they wore. They had proper court mandarin uniforms on. The Ministry of War. How do you know that? Not long after the Ministry of War's envoys came to Human, the order to deploy was passed down, correct? Has General Zuo made a public appearance since then? Before any great battle, he would always personally beat the Watchtower drum to inspire morale. Are you really from the court? Of course I am. These marching orders did seem really strange, but if it was General Zuo, then who could have issued them? I see. I've already untied your wrists. Returning to the tower now will most likely raise suspicion, so I suggest you wait here a while. Goodbye. The soldier rubs his eyes with his numb hands, wondering why the young man, leaping away with his Jingong, seemed somewhat familiar. Father.
Zola? How did you get into the city?
I climbed up through the sand sluices. No, that's not important right now.
I am just glad you are safe.
Where are the men from the Ministry of War, Father?
Why are you trying to find them?
The orders to march upon the tomb of Sui and fire at it, if they were not your orders, then it must be theirs, correct? Otherwise, why would you be here alone? Like you are under house arrest?
Silence! Do not presume to comment on military affairs!
Father, the Grand Commandant is doing all this because he has decided to overstep His Majesty. He's vainly trying to fire on the tomb to start a war. The Grand Commandant has formed a cabal and will sit and watch as Baizao is overrun by scriptgeists in collusion with the supervisor of the Sui regulator. Not only that, but he tried to seize the proxy's artifact within the Sky Mirror Pavilion and also forced Chief Executive Wei of Lungmen to attack Sui using some secret technique. None of these plans worked, which is why he commanded Human to fire upon the tomb. His Majesty never gave such an order. The ones given to Human to move and fire are false. Do not be deceived, Father!
He did all these things to wage war upon Sui?
Surely you believe me, Father.
Yes. How could I not? But know this. The tomb lies in front of Human, and Baizao behind it. No matter what orders are given, the city must not fall into disarray. Those above want to advance, those below want to observe. When these two forces clash, they will cause panic in the city. If Sui truly were to awaken, the soldiers of Human will be decimated.
But these soldiers, do they know they fight for the Grand Commandant's false orders, and not the will of Yan? Before a march, their general usually pounds the drum atop the walls to inspire morale. Have you done so, General Zuo? Without this encouragement from their commander, the men's spirits have not been lifted. On the contrary, they are confused. Are they truly braving Sui's claws to protect Baizao? Or are they the inevitable first sacrifices at the altar for the belligerent Yan the Grand Commandant envisions?
Zola!
Father, you are not only General Zuo of Human, but also the Lord Exorcist of Yan. We just received reports of a suspicious individual infiltrating Human. It appears he stole into your residence. What crimes should your son be charged for with his trespass into military fortifications, General Zuo? Just as Zuo Shenliao is about to open his mouth to reply, Zola steps forward, drawing the sword at his waist halfway. I assume you heard all I said earlier, sir. Considering you can still say such things after that, you must be in league with the Grand Commandant. You're talking nonsense, you insolent child. Are you going to turn a blind eye to your son's disrespect, General Zuo?
Sir, I truly must wonder. Why is the Grand Commandant so eager to wage war against Sui?
Still questioning your orders even now, General. With Terra in such turmoil, the entirety of the court unanimously passed the 28 policies. But outside those 28, there were 2 more hidden policies. The first of which is that the Sui menace must be eliminated. If we do not eliminate it now, surely you do not mean to wait until our enemies from abroad are at the gates? I should tell you the truth, General. It is not only the Grand Commandant who supports this policy, more than half the court mandarins do as well. And what does the Grand Tutor say? What does His Majesty say? It is not your place to ask.
It is also a question I have been meaning to ask, sir. Besides the Grand Commandant and the Ministry of War, the mandarins of the 6 ministries and His Majesty, do they know all the facts? Have they agreed to all this?
These are not matters you should concern yourself with, Zuo Shanliao. You are merely a general.
So they do not know. Soldiers must heed orders, and human cannot be allowed to fall into chaos. Thus, I am willing to be patient and watch as you replace me before battle is met. But if what comes next is an age of strife, would your actions not be drawing Yan into panic, creating new conflict within? I may be a military man, but I am also the Lord Exorcist of Yan. Forgive me, but I cannot receive such arbitrary orders.
You've put your own head on the chopping block. Guards, arrest this man.
It seems you really are all preparing to revolt.
Who goes there?
I am Taihe, Monitor Censor of the Department of Discipline and Supervision. I happen to be here for rest and recuperation, and I must say, I did not expect to find the Ministry of War acting without authorization, causing unrest within human. You need not mind me. I will not interfere in your affairs. But so long as I leave this room alive, do not believe the events that have taken place today can be treated like they never happened.
The Ministry of War's envoy and his men freeze in place.
Enough! Here and now I am still the Warden of Human. If the Grand Commandant wishes to court-martial me after the matter, then whether I am to be sacked, exiled, or otherwise, I will submit. But as for now, out of my way! I must go see my men!
Zola fully draws his sword, shielding his father as the two of them walk out of the room. Those so-called envoys are now in detention, father.
Good. Next,
Grave news, General! The city's communication systems, they've been severed!
What?
It seems those ministry men picked up where the wind was blowing before they barged into the meeting room, so they performed some sabotage. We're relying on runners right now. The mobility layer still works fine, but there are artillery emplacements all across human, and the order has already been passed down. The orders the men receive keep changing.
Begin repairs immediately, and do everything you can to stop the cannons from firing!
Yes, sir!
Taihe, relay my orders to the mobility layer. It shall be done. Zula, I shall entrust the emplacements within the deepest regions of the city to you.
Yes, sir.
One more thing. You've done well today.
Damn these monsters! There's no end to them! We can't hold out much longer! Another 24 hours passed, and the fighting continues at the defensive line against the Geists in Baizao. These range Geists are like an endless tide, wave after wave crashing against their defenses. Though they may be cut down, they always reappear, stronger than before. There is no doubt. The force the defenders face now are the god hunters of days long past. Keep your chins up! The battle is not yet over! This is no time to admit defeat! The sword in her hand is bent, her armor slowly but steadily getting covered in a mass of scars. His Majesty decrees. All soldiers, whether patrol battalion, Yulin Guard or otherwise, are to gradually withdraw from Baizao's core plate, join Witi troops stationed outside the city, and pull back defenses to a 10-kilometer perimeter around Baizao. Pull back our defenses? That's ridiculous. The Forbidden City is right behind us. Don't tell me His Majesty is prepared to abandon even the core plate? I double-checked. Those really are His Majesty's orders. Your Majesty? Where are you right now? After 40 years, he steps into the secret chamber once more. He still remembers the emotions he felt the first time he set foot in here. Remorse, confusion, resentment, terror. 40 years has been long enough to smooth them away. Long enough to grind away at all feeling, aside from the one known as helplessness. 40 years passed in a flash. If you are still unwilling to bow your head to Yan, then I alone shall bear your 1,000 years of rage. The sin of disloyalty I shall also stamp out alone. This millennium of grudges and grievances shall end here. From now on, Yan will begin a new chapter in its history. Why wait for heaven to bless the nation? There is only the triumph of man over nature. The Chulung looks towards the blazing radiance before him, as if he can see a pair of giant ancient eyes burning within, burning with a great fury. All he waits for is the signal that Sui has fully awakened before he martyrs himself. The heart-pounding golden light has nearly faded away. All that remains is an afterglow that falls into Wang's palm. Within that very instant, a flood of jumbled, shattered memories flows past his eyes. With all his might, he reaches in to grab hold of a fragment, a splinter, anything with a trace of her. For 120 years, she has never appeared in his dreams. Finally, he grasps onto something that survived. A record of a game. Not some legendary game handed down the ages, but rather a casual game between brother and sister. As they chatted, he flips the record over, wanting to see what was written in that message she left behind that is missing from his memory. He finally reads it.
You are a pessimistic one, brother, always thinking that the heart of humanity is unknowable and an unending flow of evil. Only through careful calculation and reasoning can it be understood. I beg to differ. I believe humanity to be fundamentally good, evil deeds merely a covering of the heart. Thus, I believe there is no need to attempt to decipher it. Simply read the history books and learn the ways of the world, and you shall understand through analogy. You knew I was lazing about, brother, which is why you came to give me a board written atop your board. Even before you placed your first stone with that blatant scowl on your face, I knew you had come to poke fun at me. Both interpretation and analogy are fine. These split paths shall meet again at a summary of the human heart. Of our family, only you and I walk this self-defeating road, always wanting to know the hearts of men. Perhaps when we both obtain the same answer.
The letter stops here. The weiqi player stares at the exquisite handwriting for a long time, seemingly forgetting the life and death struggle he is currently locked in. Split paths shall meet again. Split paths. She is long gone. But to meet again, the game nears its end.
How amusing. She was the first of you to raise the flag of rebellion against me. I must admit, even these past 1,000 years, I truly did fear her growing power, even if only for a moment. But her blood was defeated by her lack of cunning, defeated by the unknowable heart of humanity. What is even more preposterous is that she chose to give you a chance to live.
She has never once been defeated. Through her own force of will, she bought the rest of us the chance to live. Because she believed that after her death, we would be able to surpass you.
How pitiful! Are you actually feeling regret? You came to do battle with me, so determined to die, but you could not even triumph over your own weakness. Do you care for her?
Yes, I care for her. I once thought I did not. I thought the outcome of our battle should be the only thing I cared for. Until I learned something later on. The hearts of men, you, a wild beast, will never understand. And so, you are doomed to pay the price!
Enough! So this is to be your final struggle. This is the result of all your careful planning and preparation for 100 years. This amusement that you now present to me. Things will not end any different from last time. The only difference is that now, you are even weaker than before. Or do you mean to say, with her choice, killing me will be akin to killing her, which is why you have not the will to make even a single move? Pitiful, pathetic, laughable. But no matter. None of it matters. We can wait here. There is time to wait. Let's see which of your so-called siblings shall come charging in to die in your stead this time.
The haggard weiqi player slowly rises from in front of the board. Only a few black stones left within his bowl. His movements are slow and stiff, so stiff as to seem like he had been set there, withering away for the last 120 years. As you lay there, half asleep, half awake, you turn the void within your body into a puppet, causing all sorts of trouble these past few centuries. You decided that puppet should walk in the dark, while we walked in the light. And so at first, he tottered as he learned to walk. Then he secluded himself to gather his strength, and finally, he ran amok. But you forgot. When all is said and done, there is only one of him. If I had stormed in alone to that game 120 years ago, having forgotten how wide the board is, and how suffused it was with your might, then This time, it is his turn to have too much to do. He must cover all of Yan, and even lands beyond, dealing with black stone after black stone. This time, will you still be able to see through my stratagem?
You tore yourself into 181 pieces, nearly drowning yourself to madness, and you believed this would be enough to fool me. What of it?
What of it? A gravely wounded Faramut, forced to sleep and recuperate, having to play a game with humanity while its thoughts are trapped in unending nightmare. Such depletion will cut away at the root of your life. All your bluff and bluster cannot hide it from me. You are growing weak.
And what of it? All you have done is walk the same road the first need be walked, doing all you can to delay my awakening. But do you truly believe you are awake? By killing me in every memory, every fantasy, will you be able to throw off the shackles of dream?
How could the clash between he and it be limited to these confrontations? Countless possibilities, countless imaginings, countless conclusions. Even more things that have transcended cause and effect gently fall through the tomb of Sui like snow. The proxy looks through each and every snowflake, seeing a game that leads to his death in all of them. Enough!
Finally. You finally wish to put down that ridiculous game and bear steel against me? Yes, good. This shall be my last bit of sport before I wake.
Finally. The one who chose white. My reflection in the mirror. It's nightmare. How difficult it is to meet with you.
武器を撃つ鍛冶師はな、そいつで流れる血まで背負わなきゃいけないんだ。
あらゆる悪をここで止める。天気の悪類に当たり、すなわち悪。すなわち立つ。
7月ルカのごとく、これはまた秋の涼しさが訪れるね。関将抜刀。鶴に当たりてすなわち立つ。
春風が雨と化す時節に。
刃の勢いは目に見えません。鞘の中にあるから痛い目に遭いますよ。
生命は晴れがよし、虚空は雨がよし。
混乱した状況において小さな身震いすらも全体に影響を与えます。止まって、あいにくとこの道は通行止めです。この道は通行止めです。
電光石火、さわらばすなわち心
得者どもめ。そうに過ぎる折安し、じっとしていてください。打撲薬を飲みます。止まってください。あいにくとこの道は通行止めです。
世を切り科学を除き、
父の番に大征伐にて天下の安寧を保つ。
少し角度に高山で植え、十分に平原で植える。
水に足りないし、9年の世を打ち破ることはできます。征伐にて天下の安寧を保つ。俺の命だ。まず思いがあってこそなりに至る。型にとらわれる必要は必ずしろ。もう逃げられない。
関将
父の番に縁。
三元気一の剣、地味は
どしらもだ。お前には目標がある。
雪急騰にとかとしても
Pathetic. Just as I expected. The exact same ending once again. You were not bad entertainment, by my standards.
But that has ended here. I must also thank you for this grand gift you have given me. With your strength, I shall be able to fully awaken and devour the power of you 12 whole. The strength you have gathered over the past 1,000 years shall be my nutrients, and I shall become strong, far, far stronger than I was 1,000 years ago. I shall become a true god. I shall rule over this land and lead all those weak insects in breaking through the curtain, separating us from the stars, stepping over the ultimate darkness. With your combined strength, I shall see and obtain that future. And you, as part of me, may use my eyes to see it.
Foolish dreamer.
Why resist? You'll be like that consciousness you call a younger sister, returning to where you should be, returning to the primal chaos you came from. The dream you 12 have been stubbornly chasing after shall be realized within that chaos. No need for hellish preparations, no need for wasteful schemes, no need for fragile freedom. You will be me. You will be us. A great illogical terror intrudes upon the proxy's mind. His heartbeat quickens as cold sweat drips down his brow. His body dearly wishes to leap away, but he cannot even swivel his eyeballs. A blessing. Split consciousnesses returning to the whole would be the cruelest of blessings. Abandon your desire for hardship. Abandon your worthless obsessions. Abandon those duties you bear. Abandon those clumsy emotions you will learn from wretched humanity. Abandon that which consumes you. Embrace that which nourishes you. Suffering must be eliminated. You shall become a keepsake within my great consciousness. A futile, yet respectable memento of the past. Suffering eliminated? Pain seeps down from his skin into his marrow. Terror spreads across his body from his backbone. What the proxy can see slowly begins to blur. Close your eyes.
Yes, close them. You do not need your own, for my eyes are your eyes. No need to hesitate. Have you not thought this from the very beginning? The mortal realm does not seem as interesting as your siblings said it was. Why is this rebellious heart of yours so hard to tame? No matter. Simply yet another tangled consciousness to slowly digest. From this 1,000-year-long dream, I shall finally awaken. No. No!
It thought it had crushed that shard of consciousness. But it does not sense its scattered strength from 120 years ago flow back into its body.
What does this mean? Why? Why am I still in the dream?
The poet lifts the wine cup in her hand, but not to offer it to the heavens, but rather to pour it upon the ground. The vine falls, splashing across the yellow soil, becoming a drifting cloud of dust.
Near a winter and a summer since we parted in Jiangsu. Ever since, I had no time to dream of you, for in the lands of man are many things worth dreaming of more. As for you, using dream, using imagination, using things yet to pass to prevail, verily, you and he are evenly matched, on par with one another. But I seem to see, amidst your bout, many of my tales emplaced. Who could see a gulper of cups become now a sorrowful drunk? The poems of others are fine, but at such a juncture, their styles shall not do. I shall happy change a line. How about after rain's end, petals fall beyond count, in vine's embrace, thy freedom is found? What say you, sister dearest? The words of others are fine indeed, and its flow is pleasing, but when you are the one chanting it, it flows far too free, as if you are uninvolved. You, me, G, dusk. Consensus has always been out of our reach. Then why not have it be your turn to sing a song for the me that we share? How about it? No. Still unwilling to break your vow. Jie still has not returned. However, I shall play for you.
The bloody battlefield is flooded by a peaceful stream. The ripples upon the water quiver, becoming a pair of giant eyes. Even from within the water, those eyes stare at everything around it. Fierce, pained, near crazed eyes. Yet even so, the musician lightly plucks her strings.
Ah, this tune. It seems that rather than being unfond of wine, dear Jun, you're simply a...
In the middle of the river, the poet toasts alongside the tune, her cheeks flushed red. She does not chant to match the tune, but with a bright, clear voice. Yet even so, it is in perfect harmony with the tranquil music. The stars in the sky spin along to the poet and the musician, blending together into a pool of sweet water. From that water appear vines, some bitter, some fragrant. Even those great eyes begin to show signs of intoxication.
I invite you to share one less cup of wine.
At some point, the tones that started off high and steep gradually deepened, going from near inaudible to an inescapable bass, lingering within the water. As for the simple sounds of the instrument, no longer are they quiet and mellow. It is as if only 1/10 of the strings were silk, the rest 3 parts longing, 3 parts grief, and 3 parts determination. But in contrast, the poet's recitation grows lighter, higher, as if a whisper, as if a consolation, as if a torrent of rain. Flicking it away will only serve to wet your clothes. One low, one high, one disciplined, one unrestrained. The woman's voice merges with the voice of the instrument, weaving a dream fit to entomb a Ferenmut.
I invite you to share one less cup of wine. For beyond the Western Pass, there are no more of mine.
You dare use such tricks against me?
The furious Fairmood lifts its head, attempting to discern the source of the sound, but to no avail. Its giant bloodshot eyes first flick towards the proxy, still shackled to the ground, After a moment of quiet, it finally realizes that this dream will not be so easy to break free from. It does not care if this is the last of the power of the proxy that is here, or interference from proxies far away. Those great eyes staring at the outside world watch the dream that Ling and Jun weave, as they watch back. Within that confrontation that never happened, its actions, its moves, its weak points, even its psyche, they have seen it all. He has seen it all.
Such base deceptions, such pointless struggles. Before I have my vengeance on Yan, I should kill you all first, one by one.
You will not have the chance. From now on, there is only our vengeance against you. Absurd. Ridiculous. Your so-called sisters may have deceived me with dreams and cracked open your shackles. But do you not feel how weak your body is, unfettered though it may be? This time, I shall crush you and your miserable schemes. In an instant of fear and anger, its enormous body, as great as a mountain, shifts a fraction of an inch. The entire room begins to shatter into rubble. The great structure that suppressed Sui gradually crumbles and collapses. Save me! They're back! Those monsters from 100 years ago are back! Don't panic. Form an orderly line and walk cautiously. Why aren't you listening to me? Oh, what to do? Mr. Pooh, why are there so many townsfolk who have not evacuated yet? There are still many geists here. Stay your hand, Tiachi. They are not geists born from the turmoil in the tomb, but rather the original townsfolk. They are the students of the school? They are my students, yes. I cannot bear to see them lose their lives here, so I beg you to lend me your aid. The old Tianchi is still guarding the mountain pass. I'm afraid I cannot protect them all on my own. I shall do my best to hold back the rebellious geists. Yun Jingping, help Mr. Pooh in guiding everyone away. Surely you don't mean to do it alone, Deputy Minister Lin. It's long past the garden's closing hours. Why are there still so many tourists here? Mr. E? You still remember me? And here I was, worried you would forget me, what with you running circles about my garden. No need for further chatter. You are all lovers of things, which makes us kindred spirits. You two help this elderly gentleman see everyone out. I can deal with things here myself. I know you proxies have extraordinary abilities, Mr. E, but these are extraordinary times. I ask that you take care. No need to worry. If I cannot subdue even these apparitions, then I'm not fit to be the master of the Garden of Groutesqueries. If I may, by the way, a request for my humble record-keeping friend? Though you have come from afar, I regret to say, I have no time to be a proper host. If you ever have some time to spare in the future, I ask that you come again. But if fate is against us, and you are the last visitors to my garden, I would like you to preserve its sights with your brush and ink. I shall do my utmost. Please, stay safe, sir. My, this shaking is far too strong, as well as this resentment. Even though only a fraction of this millennium of hatred and rage has spilled out here, it still has such strength. I did not imagine what exactly Wang is confronting down there. But even having come to this point, it is still not yet awake, which means our designs with the garden are still in effect. It is a shame though. I fear the structures within the tomb are almost completely destroyed. I suppose I shall have to put a bit more effort into suppressing it then. You really know how to cause quite a stir, Wang. These geists are, in the end, formed from your fury. I have no desire to entertain such vulgar creations, nor am I interested in collecting them. All I can say is that they will be a little hard to handle. The proxy looks up towards the once peaceful town at the foot of the mountain, now devastated and in ruins. Even a layabout has times when he is angered. I cannot forgive such destruction. Now, how much of this account shall be considered yours, Wang? I shall make it whole for him. Reluctantly, I might add. Yi? Wang chased me away, so with nowhere else to go, I came to help you. Seriously? It does not really matter. I suppose I shall owe you a great deal if you were to help me with this big mess today. Since when have you been concerned about what you owe me? Why, I would never. It is simply because you are so magnanimous, our thorough eldest brother, that you find it embarrassing to settle accounts with your younger siblings. Shall I help you suppress Sui, or help you look after Mangshan town? First, we deal with the geists and protect the town. We will still have time to suppress it. There are two of us, after all. With enough speed, neither issue needs to wait. Rather greedy of you, no? Hardly the first time you have seen my greed. True. If I had not dropped by today, all those exotic plants, fine woods and strange stones you so painstakingly gather would be ruined, which would be quite the pity. Well, I only need to come and ask you for more later. Teal and pink flames join the spreading golden threads, searing away the murky black geists. What a pain. We just got here, and all these things popped out of nowhere. There's no end to them either. They just keep coming like Misua that's been sulking for too long. Best hide somewhere behind me, Grand Tutor. I'm not too good at fighting. Nearly whacked you a few times there. It's a half-baked plan, but all I can do is... Still talking about food, kid? I've added a little something to your pot of half-baked swallow Misua. No need to thank me. Let's see. Sisters number 1 and 2, the kiddo. Who else? No big deal if Ado doesn't show up. What about Yi? I've got a little something for him too. Forget it. Eat me, Dark Devastator! Quantum Firecracker, Quantum Launcher, Quantum Rumble, Quantum Cannon. Lock onto 30 meters around the kid and... Fire at will! Fire everything! Fire! Fire! Shut up already! What the hell even is this stupid Dark Devastator thing? Shu and I only agreed to help you because you promised you wouldn't make these weird things again! Made it pretty much the same way as the 12 pagodas and 5 cities. This is war after all, and all's fair in it. That weiqi failure loves saying shit like that. Who exactly are you declaring war on by aiming that stuff at me? Get her under control, Shu! This really isn't what you promised earlier. Once this is all over, don't forget to make an apology.
Sorry. These firecrackers really do remind me of the Wang, though. They are subdued during the Shenong festival, but when the new year arrives, the firecrackers they light up might even be fiercer than the ones Nian just used. Right? A family reunion should be more lively. If you had fired at Mirage earlier, it would have fallen at Yu's feet. Take a break and let Dusk play with it. She's been waiting for a while now. Me? I don't want to touch that thing. So, should I continue? Give it to me. If I let you keep firing that stuff, you're going to burst everyone's eardrums. Shoo! And Nian and Dusk! You're finally here! Long time no see, kiddo. Dinner ready yet? We aren't done with work yet, Nian. How could you only be thinking of Yu's cooking? One's not gonna affect the other. Oh, right. Whenever did give them a heads up that we'd be meeting here. Hey, Grand Tutor. Should be fine, right?
Extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures. If you are able to resolve this Geist crisis together, then that shall be an act of great merit.
I always knew you weren't the dried up stick in a muck you look like. Say, Grand Tutor, do you think our business with Yan has been a good one?
Perhaps it would not only be considered business in Yan's eyes. Making a friend is far more important than doing business.
Huh, those are some wise words. Next time those old foggies from the Ministry of Arts come to pester me, I can throw them in their face. Everyone who should be here is here. Let's take a head count of the ones who aren't here yet. Whoa! Is this Yan's New Year celebration? This is just like how Master said they celebrated. Lanterns, banners, and screaming firecrackers. Though I don't see any lanterns. This is the first time I've seen this many firecrackers though. Alright, time to land. Watch out, Nian. Someone just flew over my head. I think they're going to land right next to you. Who the hell are you? Based on your gear, I'm guessing you're... Ni hao. I'm Tarksum. I'm from Sargon, and I'm an apprentice under my master. Though usually I just drive the cart. Oh, right, my master's called Fang. Figured it'd be number 10. Didn't expect a shy guy like him to have a cheery apprentice like you. I'm Nian, the 9th, which means I'm his older sister. Let's give you a quick rundown. Those two chatting over there are Shu, the 6th, and our youngest brother Yu, the one on top of the Dark Devastator splashing ink everywhere, trying to melt away the geists. That's our youngest sister Dusk. Yi and E, the 7th and 8th, are probably by that mountain over there, while our big sister Ling and second sister Jun went off to take a nap who knows where after some drinks. Then under our feet, there's number 2, Wang. Strictly speaking, today's party is all on him. Wait a sec, got too into introducing the family. If you're here, where's the big 1-0? It's not that my master didn't return, he just, he asked me to give you this. A steel yard scale? Target Fairmouth about to arrive at critical position. It's still moving forward. No time to wait for reinforcements from other cities. We attack the moment it takes its next step. We beat them once 1,000 years ago, so no excuses.
The ancient titan lurches forward, powered by the confusion and anger of arousing from age-old slumber. It suddenly notices by its hind claw a minuscule, near imperceptible existence. Don't go any further. Turn back. The ancient Fairmouth lets out a doubtful rumble. I know, the weiqi player summoned you. I don't want to speak ill of my elder brother. He might not have been thinking of exploiting you for no reason or throwing your lives away. The ancient Fairmouth lets out a disdainful snort. You're heavily wounded. I may have ways to heal you. If you insist on continuing forward, I also have ways to make you feel pain. 100-fold, 1,000-fold. Though I would really rather not. Turn back. I can heal your wounds and help you find a new home. Just don't cause any more death and destruction. Then the master gave me this scale and told me to deliver it to you quick. He hasn't gone anywhere. He's still where he was earlier, looking this way. Got it. He's still too scared to come. Scared his meeting would be the last. But he still wants to help us out a bit. And that weiqi failure. So in the end, he decided to be real awkward and send you over while he waits on some mountaintop somewhere. Man, our family can be such a pain in the ass. On the other hand, I didn't think dried up old Tanner would learn some proper bedside manner. Did you pick up that silver tongue in your part of Sargon? Not really. Damn shame then. I'd also like to learn how to speak good better. Maybe then my next movie's funding and lead actor wouldn't jump ship halfway through. What the? There's still people rushing over to start a war? Everyone turns their heads towards the nearby city. A city that is slowly but inexorably heading towards their gathering. Can't just stand by and watch this bunch of jerks stir shit up. How about we see how the Dark Devastator matches up against human? No, bad idea. When getting in a fight like this seems a little impolite. Leave it to me. Oh, you're that Shen Hyushi. You know me. You were my supporting actress. The one I cast for that movie. Shame I wasn't able to find you afterwards. Or most of the rest of the cast, so I had to delay the shoot. Do you mean that movie Lava was talking about? Lil Lava told you about it? Great! We've got the money-guzzling Dark Devastator on the scene and now you're here too! You have that thing she left behind. That's why I'm here. How do you plan on stopping that city? With my sword. It wasn't part of my original travel plans, but I've stopped by human before. I know a little bit about its structure and weak points. I heard that master swordsmen don't see things as things, but rather weak points and flaws. You one of those masters? You've been watching too many movies. There are things only you and your family can do. Likewise, I had things I can't shirk from. Believe in me, like I believe in you all. Shen Hyushi turns to face the dramatic city rumbling towards her. She can see the weaponry lining the walls, the soldiers atop the observation posts, and the Tianxia with their furrowed brows. She believes they can see her too. But simply standing here will not be enough. She takes a small step back. She looks at the entirety of the city's structure. Its treads, the wind aegis, the sand sluices, the watchtowers, the gates. She knows where this blow should fall.
As sword of heaven's plaint, bid dawn as cast.
The writing knife in her hand is not pointed at any one part of human, but rather up towards the sky. The knife becomes a longsword, becomes a heart-pounding golden light, and then finally becomes a sandstorm that engulfs human. Sand? Has Sui already woken up? Look alive, everyone! No, wait, this is... The The storm that swallowed up heaven and earth is not made of coarse sand, but rather gentle, golden snowflakes. They fall onto these soldiers' bodies, their hands, their faces. The snowflakes melt, and out of nowhere, they hear the beating of a drum. Those memories, near buried away by the sands, suddenly become crystal clear. They remember a catastrophe and those who stood within it. A poet who drank wine and spouted poetry in its face. Or maybe someone who made a lonely exit once everything was done. They remember the emotions that surged through their minds back then. They worked as one, they fought as one, and for a moment, they forget the confusion and puzzlement pressing down on them as one. They stop whatever they are doing, silently listening to the pounding of the drum. They count the number of beats, count all the calamities human faced across the years, big and small. Until the 18th rousing farewell boom resounds, the entire weather-beaten city is like an old man overwhelmed by memory. One who slows to a crawl, then stops.
At this rate, I will make it in time to the last few emplacements. Why have we stopped? Don't tell me the artillery already! A power cut?
The spent candle holder realizes he has stumbled upon a stroke of luck. Even a near-instant cut in power would require many short but essential checks on the cannons before they can re-engage, despite the automatic switch to reserve energy stores. It has bought him precious time.
Why would there be a power cut now? Surely it's not the proxies and human,
A strong wave of emotion sweeps memories to the surface of Zuola's mind, but what he recalls did not take place in human. It is possible that the fate of us siblings will lie in your hands, Lord Zuo. To be able to chat with you on this festive day, even but for a moment, is destiny at work. I hope that in the future, you can see me as a man you can discuss things with. The doubt and suspicion he felt at the time had now become some sort of illogical, post-realization incisiveness, though he knows there are still many things he is confused about. But he soon pushes down that sense of relief, that sense that makes him relax, even feel exhausted.
It's not only about the fate of your family. There's also my family. Human, Baizao, all of Yan. Why am I thinking about this now, of all times? This fateful decision is not yet over.
He forcibly tamps down the wellspring of emotion flooding his heart. His hates-to-lose attitude pushes him onward, hastily winding his way to the last few emplacements. The golden sands that fill the sky gradually disperse. The radiance fades, returning the blade in Chan's hand back to an ordinary riding knife. To the side, Yu stoops down, grasping a pinch of soft, golden snow-like sand. Through a daze, he looks at the golden sheen, a sheen he has not seen in over 100 years. What he remembers is the older sister he last met over a century ago. But as for what Chen sees, she sees a parting far away in the distant, frigid north. The snowflakes melt away. Those newly bright memories slowly fade again, returning to their worn and shabby states. All that remains is a sigh on the lips.
Finally. Here. This is the Tomb of Sui.
Despite having some knowledge of it for a while now, actually seeing such an enormous structure in person leaves her shocked. With Baizao in turmoil, all its soldiers have been recalled to fight the geists lining its streets. Across from the door is an abyss that none dare look at.
I was pretty eager to accept this mission, but how do I actually get in? Ya accounted for my speed and intercepted me. I didn't familiarize myself with that map very well, so she probably beat me here. So now what? Do I just knock on the door?
Allow me.
You are... sure.
Long has it been since I was called by that name? Do we happen to be old acquaintances, madam?
I happen to be a friend of one of your students. And, I once stole one of your things, but I already returned it. Sorry. The thing I'm talking about isn't this thing here. I meant,
I know.
You do?
I could hardly be mistaken about the scent of my siblings. The man notes the clothes on the woman before him, and his face takes a slight turn for the serious. Whether it be the martial disciplines or the scholarly ones, there should not be a splitting of sects. But if you wish to eliminate the prejudice in the hearts of others, then you yourself must first have a tolerant heart.
My thanks for your wisdom.
The young lady carefully and deferentially hands over Jie's token.
Doshua,
madam. Delivering this drop of life to the tomb is no doubt Jun's plan. Aside from Wang, she was the closest to Jie, and she wished her here, even if only as a token. But I fear that she did not adequately explain things to you. Our family will be gathering in the barrens outside, not in the tomb itself.
What?
But this is still a stroke of good fortune. Before our family reunion, I shall have this life accompany me on a trip into the tomb.
Surely this isn't a piece that weiqi player is planning to use up when defeating Sui, right?
He worked so hard to bring this out into the mortal realm. How could I betray his intention by consuming it? It is simply to bring him peace of mind, nothing more. Talk about build-up in cinema, holy hell, this stage is is something else. Anyway, before I say anything anymore, we do have some new shit here. At least two new shits technically with descriptions. One of them being the Unquenched, the tiny little flames of sorts that spew out during the battle with Sui. Sui's wrath. Go forth and face its wrath head on, if you are prepared to never return. And then we have the left claw of Sui, the right claw of Sui, and the tail of Sui. None of them have a description because there's obviously Sui. The final god, felled by Yan, has risen again. It raises its head and sees time immemorial from beginning to end, but it has never truly dwelt in the mortal realm. True, it never really dwelt in the mortal realm to begin with. But yeah, what a stage, holy shit! That scene after the battle is also pretty long as well, so after going through that scene, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be enough for just this episode, cause it's gonna take a while to to just do these two or these four individual cutscenes for this part. But yeah, holy shit! And by the way, one very funny thing about this whole thing is, and that kind of just very much so after reading the whole thing kind of crossed my mind. But yeah, Sui made one clear, no matter how much it was preparing to fight against Wang on his own terms and everything. I mean, the thing was pretty much thinking in the same matter of ways as Wang does when it comes to strategy and everything, right? I mean, it copied him down. But one thing that the Beast did not consider of doing in the same way Wang does, and that has to do with not just Wang splitting himself apart into 181 pieces, and that's probably the crux of the whole thing, because no matter, even if Sui is manipulating people on the outside to essentially sow discord between Yan and the proxies, it did make one miscalculation, and that probably lies in the fact that it feels like Sui was only banking on Wang in the battle between each other, so between Wang and Sui, to use those 181 black pieces that Wang split himself into. But I don't think it counted on the other pieces that are also part of this weiqi game. The 12 proxies in general, and pretty much every single other person that in some shape or form has or is currently contributing to this fight and is technically fighting on the same side as the proxies against the Sui. I think there was a very big miscalculation that has been done by the Sui, and it seemingly is gonna bite it in the ass for not thinking to those measures as well. But yeah, what a scene from Ling and Jun conducting music and rhyme essentially to trap Sui in an illusion, to the two brothers Yi and Yi fighting back to back. that was such a cool little thing to see. And Chen using her new move through the riding knife that extended itself into a sword for a brief moment, and disabling an entire power grid of a city to stop it in its tracks. That is insane. By the way, for people who might be confused about what the hell happened there, how did the knife turn into a sword, and what the hell happened in that moment? I mean, the riding knife is literally there to rewrite history, right? To rewrite reality in front oneself, in a sense. And the thing is imbued with Jie's powers when they were at their highest, right before her death. She always carried that thing with her, so the riding knife is essentially probably as powerful as Jie herself. Which is crazy to see in that moment, by the way. How much more powerful... Again, I think I can't remember where I specifically said it. I did definitely say it during one of these recordings, but it's definitely crazy how much more powerful Jie would have probably become if she would still be alive. Like, her powers were already starting to be terrifying to people, but seeing this in action just brings it home how much more crazy or more powerful she would have become if she would have still be alive and well. But yeah, the riding knife extending into a sword, I mean, it's just what Chen pictures and what she is comfortable in using, and using it to rewrite reality into human stopping itself in its tracks. Yeah, works. She created fiction essentially and made fiction reality in a sense with the tool that is supposed to be used as a erasure tool, which technically she did use to erase. She erased the power grid for some time. But yeah, huge stage. And this cutscene is also the reason why at the beginning of this episode I said it might be a good thing to view something from the beginning of the story if you've skipped it. So for people who have skipped Ancient Forge, there was a direct mention in today's cutscene right there, right here towards the end before Chen does her super move. That whole scene between between Neon Dusk and Shu is absolutely hilarity. These three are unintentionally just comedy between each other. The calm and I don't even know what I'm doing here one, the mischievous one, and the one who does not want to have anything to do with anything, but still wants to play with the toys. It's so fun. These three are very fun to watch and see what they're doing. And also on a different side note as well, seeing Zuo Shanliao, Zuo's dad, essentially, basically tell his son that he's basically proud of him in that one moment and smiling back at him. Yeah. Again, the boy has grown, the father recognizes that, and it's, again, very wholesome. A lot of parent and the child moments throughout the story, and making amends with each other, and just clearing the air. Very nice. the key part of the storytelling here. Or one of the keys, essentially. But yeah. This is not the end yet, like I said at the beginning. Next time we're gonna be finishing this with the final stage, and I believe there should be one more cutscene after this, which I think I already made note during this voiceover series so far. We only had one ST stage at the beginning, and I'm presuming there's gonna be one after stage 11. Stage 11 is definitely the last stage in here. With the stuff, and as a tiny little tease, you're gonna see it in the clip section anyway, but as a tiny little tease, the next stage is a story, seemingly a story scripted battle stage. So yeah, we'll see what that is in the next part. But for now, all I can say is thank you guys very much for watching and listening. Hope you enjoyed. If you did so, please consider leaving a like. It would help out a lot. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. If you want to support me more directly, memberships are open on the channel. Like I always say, no video will be behind a membership. It's built up for support, so thank you very much to everybody who is doing so. Much, much appreciated. And I hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you are. Enjoy the React clip section. There is probably gonna be some extended sections this time. And I will see you in the next one, in the finale. Until then, bye-bye. Until a cough he can no longer suppress bursts from his throat. The cough is so violent he bends over and has to grab onto the throne for support. I see. I see why he's pressing this so hard. It's not really about all, well, it is partially about all the things he went through in his speech to the True Long, of course. And obviously he has a lot of respect for the guy and wants to keep him around and everything for the very reasons he addressed, but yeah, I think the old man is on his way out, and as he is running out of time, he just wanted to secure the future for well, he wanted to save his life so that Yan can be a prosperous nation, to essentially leave something behind, in a sense. Yeah, rip. He's probably, if he doesn't die by the end of this story, he will probably die soon after, because this just feels like he's really on his way out. The beginning of the story also said or the True Long was joking about how it's almost comical that the Grand Commandant, such a strong person, would be done in by a simple cold, which was kind of like used for just the True Long poking a bit of friendly fun at the old man. But yeah, he's probably on his deathbed for whatever ailment is pining him. Oh well. No shit, it's happening. She unsheathes a blade, pointing it at the Baizao autumn breeze blowing between her and Wei Yenwu. A sword, Earth, Shadow Strays. Yup, there we go. Cast off. As cast. Come on, CG, let's go. Oh, no. Oh, this is the battle? Wait. No. 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 Is there gonna be a Wei Yenwu mini-boss? Please tell me there's a Wei Yenwu mini-boss on this stage. That would be sick. Probably not, considering this is the arena for, fuck, the words are escaping me. For the Sui battles. I don't think there's gonna be a Wei Yenwu. That would be sick, though. That would be absolutely sick. Show me. Prove with my blood that you are right. I'll show you. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. This is really... This part now really is kind of mimicking that part with with Blaze from the last story. Or second to last story, rather. Really, really similar. You said the techniques of Shishao were all about one state of mind. So it doesn't really matter which sword you use, right? Ah. I mean, yeah. 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 That was the point. That was the point that was brought up at one point. Shishao is the sword, but Shishao is also a state of mind, essentially. Like a level of enlightenment, essentially, that you reach after God knows how much time of practicing the sword, essentially. Kind of like the Kung Fu thing. Alright. I should try and win whatever peace is possible for Yan. I know you will. Before I go, and if you want, help me think up a name for the move I pulled off. A name like Heaven's Eye that would get a young me all excited. Heaven's Plate. Heaven's Plate. Doesn't sound a little old-timey? Surely you don't have to remind me of my age every 5 minutes. That was such a cool scene. Oh no, right, these two. But yeah, that was such a cool scene between those two. My god. Finally, they finally made some peace. They finally made some peace. They finally had a moment to talk things out and actually have a couple of words between each other. Finally, holy shit. Well, they had bad blood for... The funny thing is, those two, to us, mostly had bad blood since, like, we see the two of them for the first time in the main story. But that's the moment we know their story from. But the two of them had bad blood for years. Way longer than what we've perceived the story for. Both in real time and in proverbial time in-game. Yeah, very nice. Very nice that the two of them finally had a moment to actually get their differences talked out. Both verbally and with swords, in quotes. Yeah, that's kind of like the other funny thing. They crossed swords, in quotes. Not really. But they put stuff on the line. Great scene. Zula steps in almost instinctively and takes the blow. He realizes once more just how much power a Faramud holds. And all he feels is his insides churning as blood spurts out from his mouth. Ow! Ooh, ow, yeah, the shockwave from the attack, Who there's... Oh! These two are here, okay. Well, you got Faramud support now, I guess. Oh. Okay. Oh yeah, right, we are swapping to this. Oh my god, this has been since Whirlwinds, Jesus Christ, okay. Oh, she's back. Boop. Just plopped out of nowhere. Oh shit, here we go. Boss battle stage, huh? Capping the Sui. The rain fell upon the battlefield for 3 days. Heavens plained as the board at last grows clear. Oh, I was about to say, is there no red gate? There are 2 red gates up there. Interesting, there are pillars on the map for some reason. This seems new. Okay, interesting map. Interesting map. A shit ton of enemies, of course. Was there a new enemy on the last map? Nope. No, actually no new enemy on the last map. Rejoice. I don't have to read it. Alright, boss battle. The higher he climbs, the clearer his thinking becomes. The sturdier his steps. Even so, the final stretch of the wall is no stroll down a garden path. This guy is running up vertically on a wall. He's doing the anime thing. He is legitimately doing the anime thing of running up a wall vertically. Holy shit. You've put your own head on the chopping block. Guards, arrest this man! Hey! 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 Here's the big man. Here is the big man. He's ready for action. He's about to stomp this guy. Been a while, buddy. Yes, sir.
One more thing. You've done well today.
Oh, oh, Dad is proud. Oh, oh. Happy family. Happy family. Oh shit, here comes the battle. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. How crazy is this gonna go? Oh, there's a timer under the whole thing. Oh, is this a time stage or something? It is time to draw blades. Oh, suppression pillars, interlocking devices jointly built by the Tianchi bureaus and the Sui regulator. Activate them in the north, south, east and west regions, then defeat all enemies within each region, thereby weakening the abilities of the different parts of Sui. Oh, are there? Oh, there is a map on the right and on the left. Oh, oh, there is a map on each. Okay, I think I see how this is gonna work. Okay. Keep an eye on the time limit. When the countdown ends, Sui will break through the seal and join the battle. Okay. If you are prepared, you can activate the central suppression pillar, removing the seal so you can face Sui. When the seal is broken, all deployed operators will be forcibly retreated and the redeployment time reset. Sui is extremely powerful, so you must use the suppression pillars to weaken it first. Okay, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Alright, what do you say? Move north of the map. Weakens head of Sui if all enemies in the area are defeated, lowering Sui's attack and reducing the range of head of Sui's Wrath of Eons. Okay. East, weaken right claw of Sui if all enemies are defeated, lowering Sui's defense. And a right claw of Sui will no longer use Shrouded Sun. Okay. If all enemies defeated, lower Sui's HP and reducing the range of Tail of Sui's. Okay. If all enemies defeated, lowering Sui's resistance and left claw of Sui will no longer use Hidden Moon. The fuck is the middle? Retreat all operators and reset redeployment times. Face Sui. Ah, okay, so with this pillar I could start it sooner. Alright, well, north. Let's see. Okay, this looks sort of... Oh god, these fuckos. These little fucking fish. Okay, this still happens. That's fine. That's completely fine. Uh-huh, let's see. How's deployment looking? Like that, huh? Okay, okay. Oh, well, that was quick. Okay. And now she is on... Okay, she's on a full timer now. Alright, let's go right. I see black and white shit. What is this? Okay, that's a lot of you shits. Let's see if you're gonna be enough to deal with them. Okay, that was just enough. Holy shit. Alright, let's go to the other side. That is a very open area. Oh my god, oh no. Oh no. Bad juju, bad memories. Okay, let's go with Wang for this one and drop some of these down. That should be very nice for this shit. Yeah. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Clearing the area. Kaboom. Okay. Okay. And let's go south. Final map. Oh, this is a Zuola lane. Oh, this is a Zuo lane. This is a fucking Zuo lane. Let's go. Just in case. Because these fucks can be annoying. Let's deal with all of these shmups. And chop chop. Okay, they're still alive. That's perfect. Because I'm waiting for her to charge up. Because he will not. I don't think. Yeah. Okay, they just moved one tile. That's good. I don't think Zuo can deal with the little shits that spawn from these two. Yeah. He can't really. That's fine. That's fine. You will deal with those, or should. Yeah. That works. And sup. Help out. Nice. Okay, I do need them to move a bit further in, maybe? Or maybe not. That also works. Okay, just enough. Perfect. Alright, that's all sides. So now we... Well, I can wait a couple of seconds for redeployment times a tiny bit. And then summon a big guy. Actually, I can pre-deploy. Okay, where is he gonna appear from? Probably north. Because there are the two gates there, and that area is completely unavailable. Yeah, let's go like this. Like that. I don't know where to place you. Funny, because your name is you. Ooh, let's just go like this for now. You're gonna run defense. Okay. Wang, you're gonna go here. Give me some DP buddies. Okay, and other sister is gonna go here. And we let the timer run out, so she gets full scale deployment, and here comes the big guy. Oh yeah, fuck, this removes everybody, shit. Okay, well, it's reset, it's fine. Okay, music change. I forgot. I forgot that it removes everybody. Okay, well, a good thing it removed them, because you disappear from there. Alright, you are gonna go here. Ow. You're gonna go here. Here come enemies. Sui's anger ignited by the head of Sui's... Okay, I didn't get time. I didn't get time to read all of that. That's fine, I guess. Deploy the healing. Deploy the Chen. Holy shit, Chen is destroying the ever-loving fuck out of him. Okay, he's invulnerable. But his hands are not, I think. Ooh, yeah, you're exploding. That's a lot of shit. Ow. Ow, he's dead. Oh, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Okay, you're gonna go here. That is a lot of burn damage. That hurts like a bitch. Oh, she's down. Fuck. Zo, I need you to slice and dice. Okay, good damage. Good damage. I like it. Uh-oh. Smack. Okay, he's targeting there now. That's fine, I guess. Never mind, he went for Zuo. Okay, he went for her. Okay, Zuo. Top. Leaking. Ooh, okay. We go again. Oh, okay, that was so locked in. Okay. Fucking guy just kicks everybody off the board, huh? I thought it had crushed that shard of consciousness, but it does not sense its scattered strength from 120 years ago flow back into its body. What does this mean? You, big little goober, you big idiot, probably absorbed just a weiqi piece. That's what it probably means. You've been playing against a guy who split himself apart into 181 little tiny fucking fragments, and you are so fucking stupid. Alright. Why am I still in a dream? Because you're an idiot. Oh? Oh shit. Damn. The poet lifts the wine cup in her hand, but not to offer it to the heavens, but rather to pour it upon the ground. So yeah, it's he's in a dream because he was in an illusion the entire time. He was in another dream. They were inceptioning him probably. considering Ling is here with Jun in the background. Now, how much of this account shall be considered yours, Wang? Oh, yes! The brothers Yi and E! Oh, yes! Are they gonna form like a united front here at the Garden of the Groutesqueries? They are kind of business partners, so let's see. I shall make it whole for him. Reluctantly, I might add. Oh, sick! Oh, sick! Back to back! Yes! Yes! Pop off, you bitches! Let's go! Still talking about food, kid? Why is she here with the megaphone? Why is she here with a fucking megaphone? Actually, why am I asking? It's Neon, of course she's gonna come with a freaking megaphone. Forget it. Heed me, Dark Devastator? Quantum Firecracker, Quantum Launcher, Quantum Rumbler, Quantum Cannon, lock on 30 meters around the kid, and fire at will, fire everything. Please tell me that was Dusk. Oh my god. Shut up already. This trio is insane. The mild-mannered one, the crazy one, and the recluse. Why is Shu just pointing? What the hell even is this stupid Dark Devastator thing? Shu and I only agreed to help you because you promised you wouldn't make these weird things again. Made it pretty much the same way as the 12 pagodas and 5 cities. This is war after all, and all's fair in it. True! That weiqi failure loves saying shit like that! Why is she pointing? What is she pointing at? She's just fascinated by what the shit is happening here. Who exactly are you declaring war on by aiming that stuff at me? Actually, okay, she's dropping all of that shit on the approaching army. They're just flying off. Where the hell is you supposed to be? Is he not even painted anywhere in this mess? Get her under control, Shu. This really isn't what you promised earlier. Once this is all over, don't forget to make an apology. These firecrackers really do remind me of the Wang. That's why she's fascinated by it. They are subdued during the Shenong festival, but when the new year arrives, the firecrackers they light up might be even fiercer than the ones Neon just used. Damn! A family reunion should be more lively. If you had fired that barrage earlier, it would have fallen at Yu's feet. Take a break and let Dusk play with it. She's been waiting for a while now. Me? I don't want to touch that thing. So should I continue? Give it to me! If I let you keep firing that stuff, you're going to burst everyone's eardrums. Fuck's sake. Oh, these three are just chaos. I always knew you weren't the dried up stick in the mud you look like. He doesn't know how to respond back to this. This poor old man. I mean, the only one who's gonna be missing is gonna be Fang, right? I highly doubt they're gonna shoo him in the last second. Is this Yan's New Year celebration? Who the fuck is this now? Unless this is him now. This is just how Master said they celebrated it. Lanterns, banners, and screaming firecrackers. Though I don't see any lanterns. This is the first time I've seen this many firecrackers, though. Who the fuck is this? Alright, time to land. Time to land? Oh! Yeah, who? He is in the story? Okay. And who are you? And who is your master? I mean, I know who he is, but what? Okay. Literally in the last second. Based on your gear, I'm guessing you're Ni Hao. Oh my god, he came from. Okay. I'm Tarak Sum. I'm from Sargon and I'm an apprentice under my master, though usually I just drive the cart. Okay. From Sargon? Who's your master? Alright, my master's... Oh, it is Fang! Oh, he's Fang's apprentice! Well, you know... I guess in this case... This kinda... this is kinda like a tease on how... how Fang's attire is probably gonna look like. And everything. Ah, that's why he's a medic. That's why he's a medic. I get it now. I get it now. Okay. Okay. Very interesting. Also, this fucking guy has like so many dinar on him. The giant freaking coins. What the hell? A steel yard scale? Oh? A scale? Why a scale? Oh. Is it... Well... I'm gonna guess this, because every single one of them has something like their primary tool or something on them, right? That is kind of paired up with them. Like, Ling has her cup, Wang has his, weiqi stuff, or the weiqi stone specifically. Shuo or Chong has the sword. I don't know if Yu has something unless it's just cooking in general. But everybody has like a utensil on them that is kind of like part of them or is something that is imbued with their powers. And yeah, Shu had the riding knife. I'm gonna guess the scale that the young boy just brought along. I'm gonna guess the scale is probably the utensil that Fang uses, because I'm thinking of like medicine and making essentially powdered medicine for patients, and putting that powder on scales and weighing it out and stuff like that. So probably the scale is probably his like tool that is more than likely like for the others imbued with his own like powers over the years that he was alive. I'm just gonna guess, based on all of the other siblings, because that is a very specific tool to bring along if he couldn't make it. So probably he probably sent along something that carries a like either imbuement of his own power or like a sliver of his life force imbued in it. Anyway, holy shit, that was loud. The ancient titan lurches forward, powered by the confusion and anger of arousing from age-old slumber. It suddenly notices by its hind claw a minuscule, near imperceptible existence. Don't go any further, turn back. The ancient Faramut lets out a doubtful rumble. Slim young man, I know the weiqi player summoned you. I don't want to speak ill of my older... Oh, this is where Feng is. Oh, that is definitely Feng. Okay, so he stopped at the borders to that's why he's actually not here. He stopped at the borders to persuade the Faramuts to not go further. I don't want to speak ill of my elder brother. He might not have been thinking of exploiting you for no reason or throwing your lives away. Disdainful snort. You're heavily wounded. I may have ways to heal. Yeah, this is definitely Feng. If you insist on continuing forward, I also have ways to make you feel pain 100-fold, 1,000-fold, though I would really rather not. Ooh, he's a harm assist. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Oh, if they make him a playable unit, this motherfucker is gonna be... This motherfucker is probably gonna be like a male version of Reed Alter, more than likely. If this really is to be taken fully by word as it said, that he can both heal and inflict pain, then yeah, he might be another harm assist unit. Oh, that could be fun. That could be fun. Can you imagine just putting on the field a Reed Alter and Feng and letting them absolutely detonate the map? Goodbye, phones. Hello, PC client, save my ass. Oh, fuck. Oh, you're that Chen Hyushi. You know me? You're my supporting actress. Wow, this is a callback. Holy moly. For anybody who skipped Ancient Forge, go back. Go back. The one I cast for that movie, shame I wasn't able to find you afterwards or most of the rest of the cast, so I had to delay the shoot. Do you mean that movie Lava was talking about? No. Little Lava told you about it? Great. We've got the money-guzzling Dark Devastator on scene, and now you're here too. Oh boy. You have the thing she left behind? Okay, we're getting back to serious matters. Jesus Christ. Oh, I heard that Master Swordsmen don't see things as things, but there are weak points and flaws. You one of those masters? You've been watching too many movies. Yes. She knows where this blow should fall. Ooh. Ooh, beautiful animation with all the, like, words flowing into it. Nice. Okay, channeling her way of the sword into the riding knife, and channeling the proxy's power that is imbued into the knife at the same time, I'm guessing. Oh, I didn't even read down below. A Sword of Heaven's Plaint, bid dawn as cast. Damn! The writing knife in her hand is not pointed at any one part of human, but rather up towards the sky. Oh shit, it actually turned into a fucking sword. Oh, this image goes hard as fuck. What the shit? Excuse me. The knife becomes a longsword, becomes a heart-pounding golden light, and then finally becomes a sandstorm that engulfs human. Oh, she is channeling up a sandstorm? I'm waiting for another... The storm that swallowed up heaven and earth is not made of coarse sand, but rather gentle golden snowflakes. They fall onto these soldiers' bodies, their hands, their faces. Holy shit. It didn't even hit me that much immediately, but as for what Chen sees, she sees a parting far away in the distant frigid north. Yeah? So, Yu was seeing his sister in the little, like, flakes of golden dust. Chen sees Tallulah, I guess, and they're parting in the north. The snowflakes melt away, those newly bright memories slowly fade again, returning to their worn and shabby states. All that remains is a sigh on the lips. Okay, I think this could be twofold, but according to what the flashback scene showed here, Chen and Tallulah meet at some point, as I was saying in the other episode, at some point after Tallulah gets the message that something is wrong in the north with within the mines of Ursus and the miners themselves, and then heads out with a group of reunion personnel over there, leaving that village that they were in. And here in the cutscene, in the flashback cutscene with her, we saw them part essentially because Chen couldn't come with her, or didn't want. I can't remember right now. Didn't want to go with her. Just essentially didn't go with her. Which then, yeah, the snowflakes melt away. Yep, that's poetic. The newly bright memories slowly fade again, returning to their worn and shabby states. Yeah. Yeah. What she was doing now, she was probably digging deep into some strong memories of Tallulah, probably happier times. And the memories now, after her actions are done, are going back to the... as it says here, the worn and shabby state they're in between the two of them. So basically, they still need to mend their their stuff. All that remains is a sigh on the lips. Yeah. Okay. I see. Because I'm thinking right now, because this story is taking place in 1102, which is roughly or maybe exactly a year. Actually, yeah, this is supposed to be autumn, so this is more than likely like exactly a year after the current main story, which the current main story is in 1101. This is 1102, and both are taking, I think place around the same time of the year as well, just 1 year apart. And it's been roughly a year since Tallulah headed out towards whatever the fuck is happening up there in Ursus to see if, I guess, she and the new reunion guys can help out. So I was, for a brief moment, I was like thinking, okay, wait, is this maybe maybe like indicating like a lament from Chen that something happened to Tallulah and now they're never gonna have a chance anymore to even remotely mend their relationship as sisters or something like that. But no, I think this is just referencing the scene from the beginning of this story essentially, and the two of them parting a year ago, I believe, unless this time around I'm just speculating. I have no idea. I have no idea what kind of stuff is gonna be shown for Tallulah in the next main story chapter. That one is still away, and we'll have to wait. Anyway, Oh, TA11, huh? Okay. Well, this was a long stage in general. Yeah, this is gonna be it probably when I start doing work for this part. TA11. Actually, wait. Oh yeah, there has not been a single ST stage. Oh, I'm guessing the second or maybe the last cutscene is gonna be ST. So it's probably 11 and then ST afterwards, I'm gonna guess. Huh. Oh yeah, it definitely. Okay, wow. I didn't. Eternal cycle. You think yourself clever. Tell me then, why do humans forever chase a reunion they know to be impossible? Ah, yeah. Okay, this is gonna be a thing of just watch a pre-scripted battle thing. Okay, but yeah, okay. Then so it's 11 and probably ST2 and then it's probably gonna end. Okay.